They asked, Wolf Blitzer asked Ron Paul, you know, what should we do about someone who's 30 years old, doesn't have health insurance, and goes into a coma and might die? And Ron Paul said something about, well, I miss the old days when people just took care of each other. Oh, that's good news. If you're in Texas and you get hit by a bus, a nun will put leeches on your forehead. That's the plan. And between Ron Paul and Rick Perry, I think the lesson is don't get sick in Texas. This is a story out of the paper this week, I swear. 4 people in Texas got botulism from black tar heroin. And Michelle Bachmann said, thank God at least it wasn't a vaccination. Have you seen that? Why is Mitt Romney not bragging? I covered all these people. Why can't the Democrats sell the idea, we're trying to make you well? Is that such a hard sale?
Well, it is, I guess, if you're, you know, Ron Paul. But I disagree. I agree with you. I think that Romney will be the nominee. And there was a poll published yesterday by CNN. And they took 2 groups of Republicans, Tea Party Republicans and non-Tea Party Republicans. What do you think about abortion? What do you think about climate change? What do you think? All these things. And at the end of it, they said, okay, given all that, will you vote for somebody who can beat Obama, or will you vote for somebody who is ideologically pure? 80-20. They said they'll vote for somebody who can beat Obama.
That's exactly right. Rick Perry is the bad boy they dream about, but they wind up marrying Mitt Romney. Because, I mean, here's the question. The teabaggers get all the press, but isn't there a silent majority within the Republican Party that will eventually
Yes, Mr. Nixon, there is a silent majority.
There really is.
They're certainly very silent if they are a silent majority. We haven't heard anything from them.
Right.
The point that you mentioned, the Wolf Blitzer question to Ron Paul when he theorized the dying 30-year-old man, and Mr. Paul said, Dr. Paul, and forgive me, he's an OB-GYN and he has that attitude towards patients. He says that tells you something there too. But he says he should get health care, or he should make his own choices. When Blitzer then said, do we let him die, and the crowd cheered, I haven't heard anybody in the Republican mainstream.
The whole crowd didn't cheer.
But no,
there was a couple of people.
But that was a Tea Party crowd,
that's
and
all
that's
I'm asking.
about guns, God, and religion.
I'm not asking about that. I'm asking where the mainstream Republicans were saying, those guys who cheered in that audience, whether they were 10 or 1,000, we don't believe in that. We stand for something that is a little less draconian than that. And I haven't heard that.
Well,
so I don't know how quiet, I don't know how silent this majority is, and I don't know if they're enough to take it back from Perry. For another reason, Romney redefines himself weekly. There's a new Mitt Romney every week. He's trying to get a different part of that group, and I don't know if he's going to get them all the way he wants them, or if he's going to alienate each group.
Well, if people don't know what we're talking about, maybe we can show the clip of Ron Paul talking to Wolf Blitzer. Wolf Blitzer says to Ron Paul, you're a physician, Ron Paul, so you're a doctor.
Thank you.
Nothing gets past Wolf Blitzer, let me tell you. He says, and this is hypothetical, he says a healthy 30-year-old young man decides he's not going to buy health insurance, which, by the way, is very common among young people, because I remember being a young people.
At Cornell, you're going to live forever.
Right, we thought we were going to live forever. Okay.
I don't remember being young, but I'll take your word for it.
Okay, I'll tell you after the show. He says, I'm not going to spend $300 a month for health insurance because I'm healthy. I don't need it. But something terrible happens all of a sudden, and he needs it. Who's going to pay if he goes into a coma? Who pays for that? And Ron Paul says, well, in a society where you accept welfarism and socialism, he expects the government will take care of him. And Wolf Blitzer says, well, what do you want? And Ron Paul says, well, the guy should do whatever he wants to do. He's in a coma. How can he even know what the fuck he's supposed to want to do?
It narrows his choices a little.
It narrows his choices. So if you could just show the clip where, and this is the exchange that happens right after that, and you'll see if people.
But Congressman, are you saying the society should just let him die?
No. Two.
You're right. Okay, but the crowd was not against this idea. They also cheered for the idea of executing people.
But
what
think
happened
about
to?
who-
Remember,
think about
Bush
who
ran
comes to
under
these things.
compassionate conservatives.
You know what, though?
I mean, Ron Paul's answer was basically, look, I long for the days where people took care of each other. Which, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but to me, this is a fantasy. This is remembering Jimmy Stewart and you know...
Zuzu's pedals and, yeah.
Right, I mean, those... What do you mean people took care of each other?
I'm a little concerned you remember Zuzu. But okay, we'll let that go.
How
It's a free
could, I
movie.
mean, if you have a kidney stone, how could people take? I mean, it's just not the way the world works.
I mean,
now, right?
I'm more or less a libertarian. Not that I think that stop signs are a constitutional violation. Not that kind. But
Right.
But I do think that this is in America. There is a constitutional requirement that we provide legal help to any thug that walks into a convenience store and robs something. Every time we got to provide them with a lawyer. This is a very wealthy country. We have a lot of money. We have a lot of people who can do a lot of good. There is no reason that health care can't be provided for every single person that needs it.
But we noticed this trend of them trying to out-mean each other, and we got a hold of some of the campaign posters each of the candidates have for next time. Look at some of these. Newt Gingrich, a proven record of leaving people to die. I mean, Ron Paul, a heartless bastard before it was cool.